Greetings, tennis enthusiasts, and welcome to yet another enormous edition of our in-depth analysis. We stand on the brink of what may turn out to be the 2026 Women's Tennis Association season's most thrilling, seismic, and story-defining matchup. There is a vibrancy in the tennis scene right now that we haven't experienced in a long time. And the harsh, sun-drenched terrain of the California desert is the epicenter of this seismic activity. Naturally, the BNP Paribas Open at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden is on our minds. The fifth Grand Slam, as it is affectionately and properly known throughout the sporting globe. The collision course has been set here, amid the immaculate hard courts and tall pom-poms. From the busy streets of Manila to the startled living rooms of Minsk, the impending round of 32 match has sent shockwaves across the international tennis community. This global #1 headline is taking over every social media feed, every sports website, and every locker room rumor. The Belarusian powerhouse Sabalenka faces the prospect of an early round showdown with 20-year-old Filipino phenom Alexandra Eala, the most dangerous red-hot giant killer on the tour right now. We must examine the explosive trajectory of both of these extraordinary athletes in order to comprehend the enormity of this possible match and why Belarus's entire tennis infrastructure might be gasping at this draw. We're looking at a classic, archetypal sports story. The game's invincible reigning monarch may be surprised by the bold, quickly rising revolutionary. First, let's set the scene by taking a look at Indian Wells, the harsh battlefield. The BNP Paribas Open is more than just a tour stop. It is a demanding 2-week test that calls for unwavering mental toughness and superb physical condition. With an incredible prize fund of over $9.4 million and a huge 1,000 ranking points for the winner, it is a WTA 1000 required tournament. But Indian Wells is a symbol of prestige that goes beyond money and points. Before the Miami Open, it is the first part of the storied Sunshine Double. The California desert's slow, rough, high-bouncing hard courts provide a distinctive playing surface that counteracts extreme speed and rewards superb heavy topspin court play and strategic skill. During the hot days, the ball travels to the thin, dry desert air. However, the temperature drops, the ball slows down significantly, and the courts turn into a demanding endurance test as the sun sets behind the San Jesus Mountains. The draw has been revealed in this intricate, dynamic setting, and the tennis gods have created a suspenseful masterpiece. Aryna Sabalenka comes to California as an institution as well as a player. She has been the unchallenged world #1 for an incredible 71 weeks in a row. She is the current hardcore queen, a player whose persistent baseline aggression, crushing serve, and searing power have completely changed the modern women's game. Out of the 6 hardcore majors she has played in, she has advanced to the final. She is a force of nature, a Belarusian tiger that usually devours opponents in the first round with a scary clinical efficiency. However, Indian Wells has proven to be a challenging challenge for the world champion. Despite making it to the finals in 2023 and 2025, she has painfully failed to win the ultimate desert championship. She was destroyed in a 3-set finale by the Russian Wunderkind mirror Andrea last year, in a heartbreaking event that still stings. Returning in 2026, Sabalenka is determined to exact complete revenge. In order to establish her legacy and win the Baccarat Crystal Trophy, she hopes to finally conquer the desert. She is the woman that everyone anticipates seeing on Championship Sunday, the top seed, and the overwhelming favorite. However, the road to fame is never a straight one, and Alexandra Eala has presented her with a huge, hitherto unheard-of challenge. You just aren't paying attention to the future of tennis if you haven't been following this Filipina powerhouse's incredible ascent. Alex has changed from being a highly anticipated junior prospect at the age of barely 20. A junior US Open champion turned into a legitimate top-tier professional menace after graduating from the Rafael Nadal Academy. She has kicked the elite off its hinges, not merely knocked on their door. Eala climbed to a career-high number 31 in the world as of the February 23 rankings cutoff. This is a significant historical event. It indicates that she has earned one of the 32 seeded spots at a WTA 1000 event for the first time in her career. She will be able to bypass the tumultuous first round of the 96-player field and go straight to the round of 64 because she has earned a much sought-after first-round purchase. Completely deadly and well-rested. Anyone in Eala's sector of the draw finds the momentum she brings into the California desert to be really terrifying. Let's examine her scorching 2026 season debut. She is outperforming players on the tour. She is destroying the elite of the game. Eala pulled off an incredible shock a few weeks ago in the WTA 1000 Dubai Tennis Championships, defeating fiery Italian Jasmine Paolini, who was ranked 7th in the world at the time, 6-1, 7-6. Prior to that, she's shown mental toughness at the Abu Dhabi Open that would have made veterans twice her age envious. In a nearly 3-hour marathon, she overcame a set deficit and a 0-4 disadvantage in the third set to stun Belarus's own Alexandra Sabalenka. The house money is being used against Eala. She has performed with the steadfast, fervent backing of a whole country. Additionally, she is playing a bold, powerful left-handed style of tennis that is upending the world's top players' defenses. This leads us to the main point of the shock, which is why the tennis establishment is silent. According to the format of a WTA 1000 draw with 96 players, the top 8 seeds will face the seeds ranked 25 to 32 in a round of 32. This implies that they will face off in the third round if Alexandra Eala wins her opening match and Aryna Sabalenka wins hers in a round of 64. Before the second week of the competition even starts, a world number 1 and the sport's fastest rising giant killer square off. This early round situation is a nightmare for Sabalenka. The early stages of a tournament are crucial for top seeds to establish their rhythm, adapt to the speed of the court, and develop confidence against less formidable, lower-ranked opponents. To take on a player like Eala, who is in the top 30 and demonstrated a few weeks ago that she is capable of destroying a top 10 seed. A player who can expose Sabalenka's movement and open up the court with a nasty, big lefty forehand. Because a player who flourishes in the intense light of large stadiums poses a serious risk. The psychological fight has already started. The Filipino prodigy is not scared by power, ranking, or reputation, as the Belarusian tennis community is well aware after witnessing the harm Eala just caused to their compatriot Sasnovich in the Middle East. Eala demonstrated last year that the sunny double brings out the best in her tennis during her unprecedented run to the semifinals as a wild card at the Miami Open. She adores the hard courts of North America. Because of her tactical versatility and her appreciation of the wild, high-energy atmosphere of American spectators, she poses a serious threat to everyone in Belarus, who is witnessing their unquestioned queen. A 20-year-old phenomenon of reality that is hard to comprehend might lead to a disastrous early exit for the woman who has flown the flag of their dominance in tennis for more than a year. This goes beyond a simple contest. It is a turning point for generations. The established immovable object is up against an unstoppable force that is fast accelerating. Will the Filipina star's rebellion be put down by Sabalenka's undiluted strength and championship background? Or will Alexandra Eala, driven by a sense of patriotism, riding high on the heels of a career-best season, and equipped with a tactical toolset that will allow him to defeat elite players, pull off the upset of the decade, and blow the BNP Paribas Open draw entirely out of proportion? There is a tangible sense of suspense, the plots are captivating, and the stakes are really high. Join us as we examine every facet of this enormous potential conflict. Understand the seriousness of a prospective match between Alexandra Eala and Aryna Sabalenka in a round of 32 at Indian Wells, from the complex tactical matches to the significant cultural ramifications of what this match signifies for the worldwide landscape of women's tennis. The sport, the tournament mechanics, the participants, the evolutionary arcs, and the exact tactical geometry that will characterize this clash must all be surgically analyzed in order to dispel the enthusiasm. This delves further into the mechanics of the collision and the structure of a tennis blockbuster. We must first comprehend the BNP Paribas Open draw structure, which enables this heavyweight bout in the first round. Indian Wells has a 96-player draw structure, which is often saved for the most prestigious competitions outside of the 4 majors. Due to Alex's successful ascent to world number 31 just before the February 23 cutoff, The top 32 players are seeded in this format. She managed to obtain one of these priceless seeds. There is a huge benefit to sitting. While the other 64 unseeded players, who include qualifiers, wild cards, and lesser-rated tour regulars, must endure a taxing first-round encounter, you are given a first round. In the wings are the 32 seeds. In order to evaluate the tension of their racket strings on the rough Indian well surface and to research possible opponents, they are given additional days to get used to the desert air. But the draw's design also inevitably results in elite talent bottlenecks. In the third round, known as the round of 32, the top 8 seeds will face seeds 25 through 32 if all players win their anticipated matches. Sabalenka and Eala are caught in just this kind of mathematical trap. The number 1 seed, Sabalenka, is bracketed to take on a seed in the 31 to 32 area. Before they can meet, Eala, who is seated precisely in that slot, turns into the ultimate landmine. Players who have already competed and won a match on these courts must defeat both women in their round of 64 matches. However, if both champions pass their initial exams, the collision is certain. The tennis world is humming precisely because of this process. Very early in the fortnight game, it ensures high-stakes marquee drama. Let's examine the top-ranked world. At the age of 27, Aryna Sabalenka is at the pinnacle of both her physical and mental abilities. For many years, Sabalenka's tennis story was one of severe inconsistency combined with amazing, unstoppable strength. With a series of double faults and unforced errors, she could knock anyone off the court, but she could also knock herself out of a tournament. However, that Sabalenka has vanished from the world. She has seen a significant transformation over the past 2 years, solidifying a legacy that now finds her enjoying her 71st consecutive week at the top of the WTA rankings. This degree of dominance is astounding. To comprehend her style of play is to comprehend contemporary attacking tennis. The cornerstone of Sabalenka's game is a huge, hefty first serve that frequently reaches the upper 110s and even the 120s. It's more than just speed. It's a combination of the ball's weight and location. The point is on her terms as soon as her first serve lands. The backhand and forehand behind that serve are struck maliciously. Sabalenka aims for more than just hits. She makes an attempt to remove the racket from her opponent's grasp. She rushes her opponents and suffocates them with pace with her aggressive first strike style of tennis, moving inside the baseline to take the ball early. This is deadly on hard courts. On the surface, her achievement of making it to the finals of the previous 6 hard-court major slams speaks to a frightening level of consistency. The surface of the Indian Wells, however, poses a special caution. The Coachella Valley's hard courts are renowned for being built with a thick covering of sand and acrylic. The courts become extremely gritty as a result. The rough surface grips a ball when Sabalenka smashes her huge, flat, penetrating ground strokes, slowing it down a little and raising its bounce. Elite defenders can usually track the ball down and get it back into play in this minuscule second of extra time. Because of this, Sabalenka has had difficulty winning a trophy here despite her fierce dominance, losing heartbreakingly in the 2023 and 2025 finals. On a fast court, she can hit through nearly anyone, but in the sluggish desert grit, she needs to make 3, 4, or 5 more excellent strokes to win a point. The variation of errors sneaks into her game more and more as the rally continues. One crucial vulnerability that a player like Alexandra Eala is well suited to take advantage of is this contextual element. We now focus on the challenger with our analytical viewpoint. The rise of 20-year-old Alexandra Eala to number 31 in the world is not an accident. It is the deliberate, unavoidable outcome of years of painstaking development. Eala bears the burden of millions of admirers because she is from the Philippines, a country with a strong athletic culture but no history of having a world-renowned tennis player. However, she appears to absorb a great deal of kinetic energy from this pressure instead of giving way. Eala has a perfect developing pedigree. She graduated from the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, where she was surrounded by people who promoted a strong work ethic, a lot of topspin, and strategic problem-solving. Her game's strong resemblance to the Spanish clay court mentality, which has been masterfully adapted onto hard courts, is no accident. Because Eala is a left-hander, right-handed opponents are instantly faced with a geometric nightmare. Her racket spins the ball in an unusual way. Her main weapon, a strong hooking lefty forehand, naturally targets the weaker backhand side of most right-handed players, and she can create unconventional angles. However, Eala's physical development and